movies now, because we're going to go straight to the French newspapers. Nick Rushworth joining me here on set. Nick, what are you starting off with today then?
Stuart, I'm going to start off with that story about the Chibani Moroccan workers. Yesterday, Wednesday, they had a remarkable victory, didn't they, against the French SNCF state railway. And we can go to one of the papers, Le Huff Post, which is reporting that the French state railway now is going to have to fork out a lot more money than perhaps they initially thought, because they lost their appeal in a case that for many of the Moroccan workers has involved more than a decade of their time to really fight for their cause. They've argued that over the years when they were recruited in the 1970s to do work in France from Morocco, that they were treated unfairly, ending up with very low retirements after back-breaking work, sometimes literally. So that story being covered as well by Lobs, which is looking at the side of the SNCF railway, saying, yes, they've been found guilty of discrimination against these railway workers, the Moroccans there, we can see them there. And all the way through, they've said, no, we did treat them fairly. We stood by an accord with Morocco back in the 60s, actually. So really expressions of joy from these Moroccan workers. I met them yesterday, and they were really, really tired, worn out. Their arguments of being totally shattered by the level of work they did and having to retire early was very moving indeed. So a remarkable victory in all the papers this Thursday. Something quite incredible between Morocco and France in terms of ties there as well.
Yeah, good to get a first-hand account from Nick, who's obviously been out reporting. Now, another battle, this time on the streets. This is students here in France being encouraged to protest today.
Well, this is all about the whole idea of a process of greater selection in terms of choosing students for various universities. And again, it's been covered quite a lot in the papers, with one paper saying that what we've got here is a message from the unions of the higher education professors on the one hand, and then the associations of high school students saying, go out onto the streets today and make your voice heard. Now, the argument is that within the whole process of reform now of the university system, are they sneaking in some kind of greater selection for France's more elite paths? We know that France has a very elitist education system at one end with the Grande École, which is very selective indeed. Now, of course, that paper saying that really this is a tense issue. It's a cause for anger on the streets. L'Humanité, the Communist Daily, loves this story, of course, saying this is nothing less than the betrayal of May 1968. What happened to the democratization of the university education system back in the 60s, the late 60s, when the May 68 movement? It points out, of course, that was 50 years ago almost. So, of course, it slams Emmanuel Macron. This is a Communist Daily slamming the president, saying, oh, he must just love this elitist process in the universities. So that's a take there on a bit of a shake-up in the education system.
See how many people turn out on the streets, I suppose. Now, the papers are also looking at the detention of the Islamic scholar and Oxford University professor. This is Tariq Ramadan.
Well, he was summoned for questioning and taken into custody Wednesday morning, and he is in being held as part of a preliminary inquiry into rape and assault allegations. Now, it says that he furiously denies those. That goes back to November, when the initial allegations emerged. The allegations actually date back to 2012 and 2009. Now, that paper there is pointing out that really, as soon as that happened, battles raged on the networks for and against him. And it's saying that its sources say that police investigators went into the various hotels where the alleged incidents took place, and also analysed the phone and computer data of the two women at the centre of the case. So Tariq Ramadan now held in custody, and that, the paper says, will continue into Thursday. So he will continue to be held. So that story, again, quite buzzing quite a lot in the French press.
OK, and Le Figaro has a piece about women. A lot of coverage about women to do with sexual equality, of course, in the last few weeks. This is nothing to do with that, though, or the wake of the Weinstein scandal, is it?
Well, we saw the whole question of Tariq Ramadan there, and that whole movement, really, of concern about the situation for women. This is actually a lighter piece taken by Le Figaro, which is saying, men, chess players, watch out. Women get up their game when they're actually playing. And this is more of a competitive level. It's not something to do with the psychological journal
just
of
when
science.
they're playing men.
Well, exactly. They up their game. And this is to do with data from 160,000 ranked players over 5 million chess games. So it's very nitty-gritty science. And apparently it's saying that the paper, Le Figaro, is saying this is good, actually, for women. They need to join chess clubs and get on with it and just show those men what they can do. So a question of vive les femmes this Wednesday, long live women in the chess game.
Quite right, too. I did get very excited once when I managed to beat my wife at Scrabble. It's only happened once, I have to admit.
Don't play chess.
I don't think we've played chess. All right, Nick. Thanks very much, Nick, with the papers on France 24. All the latest right after the break. And in focus today, we're investigating the far right in Austria, one of the Burschenschaft, often accused of extremism and even links to neo-Nazism, opening up to our reporters.